It's Jersey Jaguar, and these brand new Nike Elite Authentics have just been released. Now there's a lot of noise going on about these. Is it good noise or bad noise? I'm gonna get into that in today's video. We're gonna talk about sizing, materials, construction, and a bunch of other stuff to the side. If these are worth the money, I'm gonna give you guys a final review. There's a lot to cover. Let's get right to it. So it's time for a quick overview, guys. This is a brand new Nike men's Elite Authentic jersey. The first time we've seen these were last year in the All-Star game. It was only for the All-Star game, no other time last year. This year, it starts in spring training. Typically in spring training, they wore last season's jerseys, and then in the regular season, they continue with the new style. However, right now, off the bat, they're going with spring training, are gonna have these Nike Elites that they're currently wearing on the field. All right, guys, now throughout this video, you're gonna hear me referring to a White Sox team issue jersey that I got to hold and I got to see months and months ago. However, I gave my word that I wasn't able to talk about it. I got to see all 5 of the White Sox colors: the home, away, the alternate, the City Connect, and their Sunday throwbacks. However, I wasn't able to give information out at that time. However, these are officially released, so I could talk about it. Now, this one personally that I'm wearing is a San Diego Padres home jersey. Now, guys, the home Nike Elites roughly run $394. It is currently their highest jersey available to purchase. And this is what the players wear on the field, minus some alterations that are specific to each player, highly liked and tailored. Again, guys, it's the same jersey, minus the tailoring that the players get specifically for them. So I'm gonna be going over a lot of the changes that took place with the Nike Elites. Stay tuned. In the near future, I'm gonna have a video comparing them to last year's Nike Authentics. That's coming out soon. All right, so it's time for me to go over the details and construction on this jersey. I'm gonna be holding it up so it's a little bit easier to flow while I'm talking about it. Let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, guys, this is known as the Vapor chassis, and it's meant to be a little bit more tapered and free-flowing to help the players on the field, as well as cooler and lighter. However, for me, it's really not that much lighter than last year's, if you want to know the truth. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the materials. First and foremost, on this jersey, it's known as a dry fit material, and it is definitely different than last year. This year's a little bit more stretchy, and it does have a coarser, grainier feel to it, especially on the inside of the jersey. You could definitely see the dimples in that material. Now, guys, it is 95% polyester and 5% elastane, so it does have a stretch from that elasticity in the material. All right, let's go ahead and look at the trim, meaning the material on the neck and on the sleeves, specifically for this jersey. Guys, keep in mind, some of these small details are going to be different team to team. We're going to get into that a little bit more here really soon. But looking at the neck and the sleeve trim, guys, this is just much thinner. It doesn't have a coarse, thick rib like previous years do, and it is a little bit silkier. It is frankly a lot cheaper. I'm not surprised to see that. In terms of the Padres, I don't know their color last year, specifically the shade of brown. All I know is that it was brown and gold. But for the White Sox, for example, their gray is different this year than it was last year. All right, so keep that in mind. For your team specifically, check to see how much it changed from this year to last year. A lot of teams did. All right, guys, so let's look at the next biggest thing, and that's the customization on the jersey. Now, customization, I'm going to refer to the name and the numbers, and I'm also going to refer to the team-specific details. Customization on the front of this jersey, we don't have any front numbers, but that's the Padres thing. The White Sox do have front numbers, and they look roughly about the same. We're going to get into sizing really soon here. Guys, turning it around, we have a comical rear name, and we do have a pretty much standard size rear number. Now, guys, on this Padres, they aren't perforated, meaning there aren't those little holes laser cut into them. However, on the White Sox and the vast majority of the rest of the teams, they are perforated. This might be a team-specific thing why there is no perforation on these, but they still are kiss cut and they still are tackle twill, thankfully to see. Now, this jersey is stitched all around, all right, guys? So don't worry about that. Even the front watermark is stitched into the jersey. I do want to say that once again that these Padres don't have any perforation on the jersey, but again, that could be a Padres-specific thing because all the White Sox jerseys did, and looking at the vast majority of the rest of the teams, they do too. Again, don't forget that, all right? So let's go ahead and finish off these team details, and we have this very flimsy, borderline sublimated crest right here on the sleeve. All right, guys, I mean, it's a cool looking patch in terms of design. However, the details and the materials are frankly very cheap, guys. It does not have that thick embroidery to it. It does not have that thick twill feeling to it. It's honestly really comical, guys, to see it, all right? Very, very fine details, very thin, very flimsy. Definitely a huge downgrade from last year. Again, in the next video, I'll be talking about more from this year and last year in terms of details and more specs. All right, guys. Now, the Nike logo is pretty much the same. Batterman logo definitely changed. The pattern is in a different direction. It's still sewn on, but it's a different material. This feels more felt or clothy, opposed to last year, it was vinyl. All right. Now at the bottom of the jersey, that hasn't changed either. The size tag hasn't changed. The price tags did change, but guys, whatever, it's the price tag, who cares? And that's pretty much it for the details. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the construction of this jersey. Now guys, in my other videos, I highlight the hemlines. I'm gonna do that here again. We just have basic hemlines on the front, on the sleeves, and on the body, on the sides, holding it together, as well as the back. Nothing too crazy. Now, another thing to note on a lot of these new Nike Elite Authentic jerseys is that they have a wishbone style collar. It is a stylized style collar that has a contour to it. If you're familiar with the Miami Heat jerseys, the Miami Heat are an example of what a wishbone collar is. All right, so it's time for the measurements part of the video. Now guys, I'm not going to be explaining in full detail how to take measurements of the jersey. I have a video specifically dedicated to measuring baseball jerseys. Check it out. I'll be reading these off in inches. And again, this is a men's size 44 Nike Elite Authentic. Now pit to pit, meaning across the chest, we are gonna have 23.5 inches. Right at the body, just below the pit to pit, we are going to have 22.25 inches. And then at the bottom of the waist, it's gonna taper in a little bit more at 21.75 inches. Now top to bottom, meaning how long a jersey is, we're gonna have a whopping 34.5 inches. That extra length is good when you tuck it in if you're a player. Now across the neck, on the inside, we're gonna have 6 inches, but at the neck hem, we're gonna have 8 inches. Now from the inside of the collar to the shoulder hem, we're gonna have 6.5 inches. And then from that shoulder hem, all the way down to the end of the sleeve, we're gonna have 9.5 inches for a total of 16 inches. From the inside of the collar to the end of the sleeve. All right, guys, so for the front logo, we are gonna have about 4.25 inches top to bottom on this front letter. Now on the Sox one, it was right around 7 inches, which is small for a Sox jersey. Again, that was on the team issue one. So the Padres are one of the teams that don't have front numbers on their home jerseys, but guys, on the White Sox jersey, they do, and that was about 4 inches if I remember, which isn't too far off. Now the rear numbers on these are about 8 inches, which is pretty close to standard. But the rear name is a comical 2.5 inches. Guys, this is disgraceful. Even the players are making fun of it. So it's time to show you how this jersey fits. Again, this is a Nike Men's Elite Authentic jersey. It's brand new for 2024. It's a men's size 44, which is roughly a large. As for myself, I'm a little over 6'2" and currently about 182 pounds. So it's time for a final review of this jersey. Honestly, not too much to talk about. The only thing I do kind of like is the material. It feels cool. It is stretchy. However, it is not that much significantly different than last year. It is different, but not a huge upgrade or degrade in terms of that. Guys, honestly, everything else is worse. The cut of the jersey is a little bit looser, which I don't like. However, the White Sox ones that I had in hand did fit a little tighter on. That could be because they were team issue. Who knows? Honestly, everything else is bad. The front logos are different. The colors are off. The materials on the other logos got cheaper. That name on the back is a huge, huge, huge downgrade. I do like the perforation on the numbers. Again, the Padres doesn't have it, at least the home doesn't, but most teams, if not all of the rest of the teams, do have perforation on the numbers, guys. And I do like that for multiple reasons. I think it looks cool, and it does help combat the counterfeit market, and I hate the counterfeit markets for multiple reasons. We could get into that in a whole nother video. All right, guys, again, the side trim is bad and flimsy. Everything is bad and flimsy and cheap. Guys, they definitely went the cheap route, and they're charging even more for these jerseys. $400 for a standard home jersey with a player on it is freaking insane. The customized ones are even more expensive. Guys, don't go the custom route, do the standard route. You never know what you're gonna get with the custom route from MLB Shop or Fanatics' own sites. My final score on these is gonna be a 5 out of 10. Honestly, guys, these are not that great at all. If you could avoid getting them and waiting them a couple of years for a new template to come out. If they do that, try to find your favorite player on last year's template. However, new players are always coming. Players switch teams. So again, if you had to get one of these, it is what it is. Just try to find a discount of some sorts, because at the price tag, it's really not worth it. So to answer the question, it's not worth the money, guys. And to answer your question, a 5 out of 10 is not that great. Is what it is, though. If you do have these, enjoy it. It is what it is. At some point, I'm probably going to be getting a White Sox jersey if a new White Sox player comes on, or if a new City Connect or some kind of style releases, just like having a collection. All right, and there we go. Unfortunately, the price doesn't exactly suggest what the jersey is. However, everybody has a different opinion, so let me know what you think about these brand new Nike Elite jerseys. Let me know which one you'll be getting. And also in the comments, I would love to know your guys' favorite team. If there's another video you'd like to see me do in the future, don't hesitate to ask. I'll do my best to get it done. In the meantime, I'll see you at the next one.